and walk through an article that I wrote and hopefully help you as far as pest control lead generation goes. If you're looking at this article, it's probably because it's that time of the year where pest control companies are heavily thinking about, leads and getting new customers. I kind of grew up semi around the pest control industry. One of my very best friends out of Dallas owns a really successful bee removal company. It's like kind of a second generation type of thing. His dad did it, and then he started one after that. And one thing I learned very early on is that people in the pest control space, from about November to February, they kind of take it easy, whatever that means for them. For my buddy, he ends up traveling. His wife is Brazilian, so they go down to Brazil in the winter, kind of have a good old time. But usually he starts calling me around end of February, beginning of March. He's starting to get very focused on driving more leads because of just the seasonality of the business. So if that's you and you're kind of looking at all your different lead sources and what's worked in the past, I think it's a good time to reconsider driving more leads off the internet, whether that's organic or paid. Our agency, we focus on driving things through pay-per-click. In the pest control space, it's mainly Google, although Facebook is starting to pick up a little bit as well. So let's talk for a second about inbound leads like those coming off the internet versus outside sales. I live in Spanish Fork, Utah, and I'm about 6'6", so in the summers, I would go to these 3-on-3 tournaments, and there's all these 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. There's all this recruiting to go do alarm systems, satellites, pest control. And so some people will come back, having made $100,000 in their little summer stint, and that's just a single person. And so while outside sales can definitely work, it is really expensive. At the end of the day, you're paying for a person, you're paying for an apartment, food for them to eat, gas, all those different things. And so that starts to add up versus a digital system where someone's already raised their hand and said, I'm interested. I have, bed bugs, or I have, voles or something like that. So, I think that one thing that's very attractive about pay-per-click is that it can be very scalable. So some of the groups that we've worked with, a lot of times they start, only spending $1,500 a month on their ads, or $5,000 or $3,000, very, under $5,000 budgets on their ads, figuring that stuff out and then scaling over time. Some of the groups we work with, they used to have very large outside sales groups, and many of them have dropped their outside sales altogether. Some of them have reduced them. But the reason behind that is because pay-per-click, you can scale it a lot. Per city, a lot of times people can spend $20,000 to $40,000 a month and drive that much business and making, many multiples. You want to make sure that you're making 4 or 5 times or more what you're spending on your ads, because there's other costs that come into play, and you want to make sure that you gain that recurring customer, and you keep track of retention and things like that. If you need help, whether it's with Google ads or Facebook ads in the pest control space, feel free to reach out. If it's something that we can do because of exclusivity or what have you, we can definitely at least point you in the right direction, because we know a lot of the good players. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out on our website, leadppc.com. Thank you very much.